Hello everybody, welcome back to Collector Stream YouTube channel. Hope you guys are all doing very well tonight. So if you haven't seen the last video, I introduced something called the Ken score, and then it's going to be a perspective as both a collector and investor in the Pokemon collecting space. And right now we're going through the Scarlet and Violet generation. So in the last video, there's going to be a breakdown on the definition on each category. I'm not going to talk too much about each section. If you guys missed the video, just watch the previous one. Today, I'm just going to go straight into why I gave these sets the score that I gave. But before I begin, we are spinning for the Paldea Evolve booster box. So once we hit 2000, we're going to spin for this bad boy. So just case fresh, beautiful booster box. So if you guys enjoy collecting Pokemon, please don't miss and subscribe today. All right, jumping in, we're already covered Scarlet and Violet base in the last video. So let's just continue and talk about Paldea Evolve. All right, so Paldea Evolve, 193 cards, 86 secret rares. So this is a very, very big set. It's also like notoriously difficult to complete, and it was released back on June 9th, 2023. So it was about over 2 years now. And it's a set that right now is one of the top sets from Scarlet and Violet, I would say. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about the common cards. Let's just jump right in. The reason I am so bullish on Paldea Evolve is because of the illustration rares. It has so many of them, and it has some that have actually popped up to $500 in PSA 10 form not too long ago. If you look at the Merald, and then if you look at some of the other sought after cards like the, I think that the Tyranitar is also part of this set. The Tyranitar, and then you got the Tyranitar, and then like there's some really, really nice looking cards that might potentially pop in the future when people look back in Scarlet and Violet and want to get them in PSA 10. Just looking at, you know, some of the Mousehold, Flamingo, and Fabric Giraffe, those are really, really beautiful artwork. So, and I haven't even started talking about one of the most expensive cards that you can pull, which is the Magikarp illustration rare in a PSA 10. So that for the artwork and illustration rare, I gave it an 8 out of 10. For the set diversity, similar reasons, 7 out of 10 because it's a really big set. It's got nice Paldean starters and Paldean Pokemons, so it's a pretty strong showing for the set. For the chase card, out of all the other sets, I gave it an 8 out of 10 because namely is the Magikarp, and then if I mouse over here, it's got the Iono Trainer, which was once one of the most expensive Japanese waifu cards that you can actually get from Clayburst, from the Japanese equivalent. And then I was already mentioned Tyranitar, Merald, and then the Paldean starter. So it's 8 out of 10 for Paldea Evolve. Cool factor, I mean, looking at this booster box, if you add this into your collection, instantly, you know, like you got one of the best box from Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, and this is kind of like a gateway drug, if I can call it a gateway drug to Pokemon collecting. So once you start this, you probably, you know, you'll get the bug, and then you'll start collecting more. Actually, when I talk to friends that really want to jump into the hobby recently, and then they ask me what should I invest in, this is the #1 product that I tell them to invest in because it's just got so much potential, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. And then lastly, the fun to pull. Yeah, this one I gave it a 7 out of 10 because if you pull that Magikarp, then you instantly associate it to be like a PSA 10 worthy card, and you'll get a lot of fun ripping this box. It's not easy to pull it because there's 86 secret rares, so your chance is like 1 in 86 to pull the Magikarp. But man, if you do, it's a lot of fun. So that's why I got a 7 out of 10. So for the collector score, I give it a 38 out of 50. Moving on to the investor score, the growth potential, I give it an 8 out of 10 because I see this as one of the top 3 box you can collect in Scarlet and Violet. It's up there, I wouldn't say it's equivalent to Evolving Skies, but it's definitely up there in terms of room for growth. So I give it an 8 out of 10. For the print quality, this is when this set really suffers. With a gem-in ratio for most of the cards is very, very low. The first batch for Paldea Evolve, I don't know about the reprint quality, but then for the first batch, it was really, really quite terrible. I semi-joked around with my friend when I pulled it, and I just couldn't believe how bad the print quality was. Like I feel like I was holding like fake cards for a reason. The only other time when I felt like that was when I was ripping the Charizard UPC. And then the Charizard UPC, that box had various different sets, and I think Pokemon Company really rushed it. They really rushed the product, and then that print quality is also extremely bad. So just like FYI, public service, if you are trying to go back to Sword and Shield and you're trying to rip stuff to grade, I would highly suggest and advise don't open Charizard UPC, because the print quality is absolute shit for that product. And let me know in the comment section if that's the case for you. But when I rip Sword and Shield booster box and I rip Charizard UPC boxes, the print quality is like day and night. I can definitely tell which came from the booster box and which came from the UPC. Is that bad for the UPC? All right, moving on. Where am I? All right, so next one, we covered print quality, the stability. For Paldea Evolve, the reason why I gave it a 4 out of 10 for stability is because the Magikarp pricing in PSA 10 can fluctuate a lot, and also there is the score took a little bit of a hit because of how expensive Paldea Evolve boxes are right now. So if it's going for like $400 and then suddenly it falls 25% back to $300, then that's a big drop, right? So then that's why it took a little bit of a hit. But mainly it's a set that is not very stable, I would say, but it's got high score for room for growth, but also the trade-off is the stability is not as great, right? I hope that makes sense for you guys. Then value is somewhere where it excels again. So I think Paldea Evolve is a set that will do well in the long term, and I'm giving it one of the highest marks I can give for Scarlet and Violet era. Then we have the reprint resistance. Then some people might be like, oh, this guy doesn't know his stuff, you know. Don't you know Paldea Evolve is just getting a reprint? Yes, I know about that, but what's your chance of getting a booster box? Can you go to a local game store? Can you go to Costco? Can you go to wherever you are? Show me your nearest local game store that will reprint Paldea Evolve booster box and restock it, and then I don't know, I'll give you a handshake, I'll buy you a milkshake, and then I'll send you some money on PayPal, because I am willing to bet your local game store, even if there's gonna be a reprint Paldea Evolve, your local game store is not gonna get it, and you're not gonna get it on your hands anyway. So those rumors or confirmed news of reprint means nothing in the investor space, in my opinion, because you cannot even get your hands on it. The distributors will be getting more Paldea Evolve. Yes, they might be getting more Paldea Evolve in a sense of ETBs or stuffed into other products, but the chance of them getting new booster boxes and then selling you at MSRP is borderline zero. So don't give me that, oh, reprint is gonna it's gonna make the price drop, yada yada yada, or like, oh, I can buy Paldea Evolve at MSRP. You simply cannot. Okay, and that's end of discussion from my end. All right, so that's why I give it a reprint resistant is 7 out of 10. So I just don't see how new people or the new joiners can get their hands on a pristine copy of Paldea Evolve, because these don't they don't grow on trees. Like, if you have one, sit on them and don't rip them, and then in the future they'll be worth a lot of money. So totally, the total score for the investor side is 29 out of 50, giving Paldea Evolve a very respectable 67 out of 100. So that is the score, and that's probably one of the, I'm gonna blur out some of the final score because I want to do them one by one, but Paldea Evolve is one of the best scoring sets of the Scarlet and Violet era. So now we won't take any breaks. Let's cover Obsidian Flame and then we'll end the video. Yeah, so Obsidian Flame, it's a bit of a lackluster set, to be honest. That's why it's got a 5 out of 10. Some of the art, like the Scizor and the Houndour and the Clefairy, they look really nice. I really like the Ninetales. I think the Ninetales is being slept on, but in terms of overall illustration rare, there's not a lot, and then it's kind of taken over by the Pidgey, the Pidgeotto, and the Pidgeot EX. So it's got a 5 out of 10 for the artwork. For the set diversity, let's have a look. So it's actually quite big, 197 commons, but it only got 33 secret rare. So again, for the same reason why I score a 5, it only got a 4 because the set is not very diverse in terms of the illustration rare, and there's nothing to write home about, you know, no real standouts. For the chase card, let me see here. Chase card is the Charizard EX and the Ninetales. Okay, yeah, so the Charizard EX is actually really beautiful. I actually pulled a pack fresh. You can actually have a look. This is pack fresh, and it only got a 8 out of 10. So the reason why I got so bad is because of the centering at the back. So I'll do like a slow pan shot, I guess. You see how off center it is from factory. And again, I sleeved this right away when I pulled it. So yeah, it's a little bit sad, and even in the front, it's also very off center. So that's why the chase card, I gave it a 6 out of 10. In terms of the art, the Charizard, it actually looks really sick, but then it's overshadowed by all the other good arts that's available in Scarlet and Violet. So 6 out of 10, I think that's a fair score for it. Fourth column, the cool factor. Let me see here. So booster box, it's got the X factor. Is some people might associate this with XY flash fire, I believe. So then when you have a terrestrialized crystal Charizard in the box art, maybe in the future they won't even care the cards that's inside. They'll just look at this box and be like, oh my god, this is a Charizard box, and probably the only one in Scarlet and Violet. So maybe that's why I think there is the X factor there. People love Charizard, right? So it's got a 6 out of 10 for the cool factor. And then a fun to pull, 5 out of 10. I mean, like, I pulled it, and then the moment I pulled it, I screamed, and then all I got was, oh crap, this is so off center, you know. So thanks again. The print quality is just brutal for some of the English sets. So 5 out of 10 for a total score on the collector space is 26 out of 50. Then Obsidian Flame, moving on to the growth potential. So again, it got a 5 out of 10, and I already put down the memo. It's because of the box factor having Charizard, so that's why I got a 5 out of 10. And then the print quality, yeah, self-explanatory. I already covered, so 4 out of 10. Not gonna beat it to death. Stability, it's actually a box that's seen steady growth, and then it's a set that I think it's kind of beloved by a lot of collectors, because I'm always surprised at how steady it grows with time. It's been out for 2 years, and some people, they cannot explain. Even I cannot explain why it is the price that it is right now, but I will definitely be pleasantly surprised when it tracks upward, and there's no getting around it. It will continue to go up in price. So if you guys enjoy Obsidian Flame and you want to get some, I would say yes, you should buy some Obsidian Flame. In terms of the value, these scores, I am trying to be realistic as possible. So is it going to be a box that's going to hit $1,000 in the near future? Absolutely not. It takes a very long time, and only a handful of booster box, at least in the past, can break the $1,000 region. You know, look at Fusion Strike, it still hasn't broken 1,000. Look at like Lost Origin, it still hasn't broken 1,000, but it will eventually, because if you look at like even Steam Siege, it's broke 1,000. So if Steam Siege can break 1,000, then every freaking Pokemon box can break 1,000. It just takes time, so you're just gonna like let it simmer and let it age. Okay, that's the key. You know, investing is a reward on your patience, okay, and it's a reward for your time. So buy the product, sit on it, and just forget about it. You know, that's the best way. You know, don't touch it. Like stocks, you know, stocks are very liquid, but you will burn yourself if you keep on trying to day trade, and you're just gonna get killed. You're gonna get slaughtered like pigs. Okay, where am I? Reprint resistance. So again, it's not a box that Pokemon Company is, you know, eager to reprint. I mean, people are not screaming and protesting on the street saying, I want more Obsidian Flame, give me more Obsidian Flame. Yeah, they're not doing that. They might be doing that for like Prismatic Evolution or Destined Rivals, or I don't know what else are they after. Give me more like Paldea Evolve or something. Yeah, this is a set that people are sleeping on, so it's pretty reprint resistant, I would say. So 7 out of 10, giving it a total score 27 out of 50. So Obsidian Flame has got a total score, total Ken score 53 out of 100. And how does that compare? So compared to Paldea Evolve actually comfortably beats it at 67 out of 100. And then the Scarlet and Violet base also beats it pretty comfortably at 61 out of 100. So again, this brings me to the end of the video. Let me know in the comment section, do you agree with the scores that I've given? And do you guys like this kind of format? If you do, I will be really happy, because I'm just trying to give you guys a more unique perspective, but also informational and factual. So, and then Ken, you'll be like, how is this factual, Ken? Well, this is factual because I actually sat down and took the time to make this chart for you guys. You know, you think this is easy to like give it a score and also trying to be objective? This is like, there's science involved in this. Yeah, so I hope you guys really enjoy this. Give me a like and subscribe if you believe what I'm doing, and then if you want to see more scores, I'll cover more in the next one. But so far we've covered Scarlet and Violet base, Paldea Evolve, and Obsidian Flame, which is SV3. Coming up in the future, Scarlet and Violet 151, we got Paradox Rift and Paldean Fate Nyx. So if you guys liked it, comment, subscribe, let me know in the comment section what you guys want to see next. Okay, take care. Talk to you soon.